What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Developer Gus. I'm your host, Gustavo Amezcua. Today, we're kicking off a brand new series, and it's a big one. Next.js tutorial from scratch, how to develop a portfolio website. We're going to go from zero to building a full, modern, and powerful web application. But before we write a single line of code, we need to answer two big questions. What is Next.js and why you should even care? I'm really excited to dive into this with you. So let's get started. So you've probably built some projects with React, right? Maybe using a tool like Create React App, and that's a great way to start. But that approach creates what's called a single page application or an SPA. And single page application, as cool as they are, have a couple of tricky problems. First, the initial load time can be slow. All of your website's JavaScript has to be downloaded and run in the browser before the user sees anything. For big applications, that can mean a blank white screen for a few seconds. Second, they're not always great for SEO. Because the content is loaded with JavaScript, it can be harder for search engines like Google to see your pages and rank them properly. This is where Next.js comes in and basically saves the day. Think of Next.js not just as another tool for React, but as a complete powerhouse environment to build your React apps in. It's a full stack framework that solves those big problems and gives us a ton of incredible features right out of the box. The two superpowers it gives us are server side rendering and static side generation. To understand why that's a big deal, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Way back when we built static websites, you had an index.html, an about.html, a contact.html file, one of those files for every single page. These sites were super fast, but a total pain to manage. If you wanted to change a link in your navigation bar, you had to open every single HTML file and change it manually. It was a headache. Then frameworks like React gave us single page apps. Now, now we have one HTML file and JavaScript handles everything. The user experience is amazing. It's fast, fluid, and interactive, almost like a desktop app. But like we said, you get that slow initial load and weaker SEO. This brings us to server-side rendering, or SSR, which is the magic of Next.js. With server-side rendering, when you go to a page on your site, the server builds the full HTML page first and sends that directly to your browser. This means the user sees content almost instantly. It's fast to load and perfect for search engines to read. Then React and JavaScript kick in and take over, making the site fully interactive. It's truly the best of both worlds. But Next.js has another trick up its sleeve: static site generation, or SSG. This is where this is where at build time, Next.js pre-builds all of your pages into plain HTML files. This is the absolute fastest type of website you can possibly have. It's perfect for sites where the content doesn't change every 5 seconds, like a blog, a portfolio, or a documentation site. The amazing, the amazing part is that Next.js lets you mix and match. Some pages can be server rendered and others can be static. You get to choose the best approach for every part of your project. Okay, so besides solving these huge problems, what other cool stuff do we get for free when we use Next.js? Let's do a quick rundown of some game-changing features. File-based routing. This is one of my favorites. Forget installing React Router. In Next.js, you want a new page, you just create a new file. You want an about page, you create a file named about.js. That's it. It just works. It's so simple and intuitive right out of the box. API routes is the next one. You can build your own backend API inside your Next.js project. No need for a separate node and express server. You can talk to your database, handle user authentication, process payments, all in one place. React Server Components. This is a newer feature that's incredibly powerful. These are React components that run only on the server. This means they are super secure. You can access databases or use secret API keys. without ever exposing them to the user's browser. They're amazing for performance. Image optimization. You know how annoying it is to manually resize and optimize images for the web? Next.js has a built-in image component that does it all for you automatically. Lazy loading, modern formats, everything you need for a fast website. And there's so much more. On top of all that, you get amazing out of the box support for TypeScript, easy integration with CSS tools like Tailwind CSS, which we'll be using in this series, automatic code splitting for faster loads, and a blazing fast development server. So that's the what and the why of Next.js. It's powerful, it's modern, and honestly, once you start building with it, it's really hard to go back to the old way of doing things. In the next chapter, we're going to stop talking and start coding. We'll get our development environment set up and create our very first Next.js application from scratch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.